Yeah.
What's name?
Hey. How's everybody doing out there? Yeah. Hey, we in all black for the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
How
man.
y'all doing?
Hope y'all good. Hope y'all safe. Hope y'all healthy, man. Good to see y'all. What's good with you, Bo?
Hey, man, everything's crazy, man. You know, it's a different kind of segment, so it's a different kind of day. But, you know, we always got to start off with our first segment. And, you know, it's called Get 'em. But, you
Get
know,
them. That's what we do, man.
we're going to get them a little different. Who we
Yeah.
want to get is the looters.
Yeah, I think we should talk about these looters, bro. You're right.
Looters. Because we with the protesters and we with the
Yeah.
riots, right? I can
Straight.
riot sometime, but the looters, y'all coming out differently. So let's get y'all look goofy. Look, first of all, you're almost Black Lives Matter face ass. First of all, half of y'all wasn't even black when you looting face ass. First of all, what the hell is you doing stealing from the dollar store, broke ass? First of all, who the hell told
Straight up.
y'all? Right, come on, man. Who the hell told y'all that robbing was cool, face ass? You little teenagers, get them, Terry.
Listen, let me explain something to you. You weak, broke, no class, have it ass. Listen, this ain't got nothing to do with this has everything to do with the problem. Thank you for so much for perpetuating the problem. But I'm glad to see it's not a bunch of black looters either. I'm glad to see that all these people want to decide to stand up and say something and do something right now. But when we was asking y'all to do that 4 years ago, y'all was silent. Where was those looters at then? Where was those looters at when we had Kaepernick? And if you black, I feel the same way. Don't get me wrong. I like free shit, but I know what they're doing right now, and you should know better too. You know what I'm saying?
First of all,
Seriously.
you looters were stealing for Foreman Mills. What the hell kind of looter is you? Y'all are terrible.
Yeah.
Worst
Walgreens,
world. What
Dollar
kind of
Tree.
loot is going on? Y'all ain't even trying to loot right. You went to the white neighborhoods and then you ran. The Mexicans ran your ass out.
Hold on, man. Calm down, G. Calm down. You're too angry. You're too angry. I hear you. I hear you. Calm down. That's what I'm trying to say. It pisses people off. It's not just pissing off white people. It's not just pissing off black people. The only thing you're doing by destroying stuff is pissing off everybody. Now, I get it. And to be completely honest with you, I'm not even going to say I'm totally against the looting. I understand. We're in a really rough situation. I'm not going to even say that I'm mad at you for looting. What I am mad at is these people that have nothing to do with this. These people who could care less about the death of black people, they could care less about police brutality, and are only taking advantage of it. That's what's the problem is. You weak and your daddy don't love you.
Man.
You ugly. You
Also,
stupid. You understand what I'm saying?
I want to get Antifa. I want to get everybody because all y'all start. Who the hell put bricks outside? Who the hell did it? I want to get your ass.
Well, I tried to post about that, but then Facebook flagged it. So
See, so look, at the end of the day, get them wasn't even about roasting. It's about we mad at y'all for messing up the movement because the movement is real. The movement is here, and we trying to protest. Right? If you think about it, here, hold on. First of all, get them is over. I ain't even get them. My hot button topic.
we just need to get this energy out.
Yes.
Let's get this energy out because we mad, y'all mad, everybody mad, right?
Exactly.
That's what's going on. Ain't no point in sugarcoating it or none of that, right? But this is the show we do, man. Listen, our show is about spotlighting people who do well in this world, spotlighting people that we appreciate, spotlighting our friends, right? All of those people are being affected by this. So, again, I want us to try to change up, get them so we can hopefully get that energy out and get back. What's up, Jamie? Hopefully we can get back to something more real. And yeah, we're going to be informative. We are going to, it's me and Bo, so we're going to be stupid. We got an amazing guest on the show today. If you guys didn't already pay attention, we have Terry Young Jr., who's a police officer who's going to check in. And, we're just going to have a conversation with him. As well as Godfrey, which is a comedian, an actor. He's a very, very great comedian and actor. So we still gonna stick to the regular show format. We just wanted to blow off some steam at the top of the show, man.
Yeah, that's all. So get them is over. Our hot button topic of the week is to the protesters that are black technically have been the least violent out of every
Least
group
violent.
out there protesting or doing things. Now, mind you, let me put it to you like this. I think there's 3 groups out there, well, maybe 4. I think there's the protesters who go out in the morning, go on in the afternoon, during the day sometime. Then you got the rioters who I mean, they with the protesters, but they kind of like more violent. They willing to tear the police stuff up, which is, that's different. You right,
Understandable.
want to protest.
Understandable.
Then you got the actual looters who it might not be people, it could be other outside forces, because we seeing a lot of internet stuff about not the people out there starting some of this stuff, but people who got training. My little nephew got no training and cutting holes in walls to start fires so they could burn correctly. My little nephew don't got training and popping windows with a little ping thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, hot button topic is we with the protesters, because y'all been the most peaceful. The police been violent with y'all. Trump been violent with y'all. Y'all been peaceful. So keep doing what y'all do. The riot has been violent. The protests have been violent. The white people have been violent. The Mexicans have been violent against us. And the peaceful black protesters are the only ones that hasn't been violent. And guess who getting blamed for all of it?
Us. Right. So speaking on that, I had a video up on Facebook yesterday that I found that was sent to me from another friend of mine out of state. Didn't know exactly what state it was, but it was a video of what looked like uniformed police officers in a pickup truck dropping off bricks near what was said was a protest site. Now, this is something I'm pretty sure that most people might have seen. That a lot of people might have actually seen and heard. You might have posted it yourself. And I wake up this morning and they flagged that post. They said that it was not the Boston Police Department. And I was like, well, I never said it was the Boston Police Department. All I said was, whatever I said, it was about how stupid it was. It wasn't about where it was at or anything. I never made any accusations. So I think it's very strange to me that the same person that said that we won't censor Donald Trump is censoring the people who made his empire. That doesn't make very much sense. How are you censoring my post? How are you censoring my post that I'm reposting of a video that was taken by a civilian looking at police officers setting up bricks inside of a protest zone? And you're going to tell me that that's fake? Sounds a lot like Donald Trump. Fake news. Because the real news has always got to be the fake news. That's crazy.
Speaking of Donald Trump, here's our second hot button topic, because apparently they finna instill some martial law going on in here. So, because y'all done wild out, y'all stupid thieveries. Because thing is, you got to
Nah, man, listen, Bo, hear me, dude. Hear me, Bo.
I know.
Hear me, dog. Hear me, dude. I hear you. I get it. I get what you said. Everybody know what you're saying. But it ain't just because of the looters. There's something else going on, bro. It ain't. That's an excuse.
I'm posting all about it. I know, but I don't want to get the show shut down, because everybody on my Facebook know we've been talking all day about the conspiracy theories and what's really going on, and how there's so many photos. I'm gonna pull them up. There's so many photos of black people saving each other from someone giving them a brick or things of that nature. And I know speaking of,
it was a brother that was walking around Oakland who was collecting cans, paint cans from people who were out doing spray paint. He was walking through the streets, big black dude, 6 feet, like, give it to me. Give me the can. These are the videos you don't see.
This kid got arrested. This kid got arrested for starting in Pittsburgh. Now, mind you, there was 3 other ones. Two got arrested here in Illinois for starting the riots, inciting them. Now, none of these people that got arrested for starting this stuff was my color, your color, even any color on the screen, the color he is.
But we're going to be the ones that's blamed for it. You scared of us in a hoodie, but you're not scared of white dudes walking around with white hoods on their head. That's funny to me.
That's crazy.
My friend Nikki brought up to me, it's very interesting that this happened right now when they know everybody is mandatorily supposed to wear masks. It sounds like this, and everyone has to wear masks. Then we have these breakouts and these random protests of people we don't know, and all these random people who all of a sudden want to help black people by tearing shit up. They tell us not to tear shit up, but the people who tearing stuff up look more like you than me. The news is only showing what happens after they already busted the window open and we took advantage of the opportunity. But it's being started by people who don't look like us. The same people who telling us it's wrong. I'm like, well, then talk to your neighbor, talk to your son, talk to your cousin, because that's who's out here tearing this stuff up. Just because you see us do it in the aftermath and we post what started it and that doesn't get seen, doesn't mean that that was us that was doing that.
Exactly. Now you see they got pictures of police officers putting things in cars. They don't tell us this on the internet.
Yeah, how is that even? Well, maybe she was shopping. There's good people on both sides. I'm pretty sure she just wanted to buy 8 pair of Nikes, right? I saw a news report where they had a woman who was looting a store, bro. She was by herself. She had all kind of stuff, and the news people refused to say that she was a looter. They was like, maybe she works there. You know, this person, this individual, they never use the word loot. But it's funny how every time they see black people, they always want to use the word looters. That way, when they show looters or thugs, they tend to use imagery of people who look more like me. But I'm watching all these other people who don't look like me who are looting, but they don't want to call it. She said that woman must work there. The news literally watched someone loot. There was a middle-aged white woman and said she must work there. I'm pretty sure. I hope she's not stealing. I hope she's not.
That
Fuck out of here. That's crazy.
And that's the thing, man. They don't understand, man. They don't understand. They tell us to protest. And then they say when we do Black Lives Matter like the easy way, don't. No. When we kneel, no, don't kneel. Well, they don't want speaking of celebrities, they don't want the celebrities to talk. Speaking of celebrities, you know what I'm saying? And most of them finally starting to come out. I'm starting to see some of them finally come out, and we got one who I believe is ready to give his piece, because I know, like
make sure you got ready to come up.
Yeah. Oh, we ready. Yeah. So
cool.
I know, like like you said earlier, the whole show really is about spotlighting entertainment, and unfortunately, the current events have ruined spotlighting our artists, and it turned all things into straight, angry for the protests or the protests. But I'm down for the protests. I'm with you guys. They was out today. Everything is crazy. So we just wanted to say, be safe out there. We know they finna shut everything down. I know for sure they finna shut everything down because they already started. They taking all the expressways and streets.
You can even make it to the studio today. Tell them what happened on your way to the studio, Bo.
Man, on the way to the studio, everywhere I went on the way to the studio, everywhere I went, they sent me on the expressway to the city. Everywhere. North, south, east, west. Every time I went, they sent me dead to. It was
so they were like blocking the streets. They were blocking the streets. You mean? Are you saying they sent you?
They were blocking streets. Yes, they were blocking everything. The streets of,
and just routing you guys onto the highway, so you couldn't go where you need to go.
Straight on the expressway like it's about to go down. So I understand probably about to go down. I just had him in the screen. Let me see if he just went away. So we not gonna really wait too much longer. It's about time for our out of spotlight, man. Terry,
man, listen, Bo, this is me and you, man. Listen, Bo.
Yeah, I'm just sad, bro, because you don't know what
I hear you
all week, bro. It's been crazy out here. Like, seriously, it's been.
I hear you, bro. I do hear you, and I know that, man. But it's tough to not. It's tough to not be there, and that's why I was like trying to talk to you and Godfrey beforehand, because I know that everybody's a little upset, and I am too. I'm pissed, man. Right now, they rioting up the street. I don't want to say rioting. They're protesting up the street on Willow, headed towards Facebook. And I think that might have a lot to do with what happened overnight with Facebook, with them flagging civilian posts, but they wouldn't do the same thing for the president spreading hate speech. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Facebook might get shut all the way off for the first time since it started today, depending on how this goes. But they got helicopters in the air outside. It's been explosions. I've been hearing bombs. They was like, it's fireworks, but they've been using fireworks in different ways. So, we don't know exactly if that's just going up in the air. There was a rumor that a cop car was hit with a firework. They threw a firework into a cop car that eventually exploded last night. There's a lot of stuff going on. But, in the middle of all that, we have the opportunity to speak to each other. And the one thing I wanted to make sure that we were able to do on this show today is that I'm on the West Coast. I'm in the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? Two-Face, Bo, he's in the Midwest. He's in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Godfrey's on the East Coast. This is a rare opportunity for three brothers who happen to be comedians that we can share information about what's happening literally all the way across the country.
Mm-hmm.
All right, did you get them back up? Before I intro them, I just want to make sure you got them up.
Well, we might as well spotlight them first because I'm waiting on
Okay.
them to come back.
All right.
You might have to text them real quick, tell them to get back in here. Uh, but definitely, what I would like to do is you give him a proper spotlight because this brother here, y'all getting a super treat. Cause when I first saw him, he was on the 7 Up US commercial, and we were just like we wasn't even getting into comedy yet, but we were just getting into comedy. I think it was freshly for comedy for us, and this was something that we were like, how do we get to that spot?
Exactly. We started making commercials just because we saw people that look like us doing commercials.
Right, I didn't even know we could do commercials. And then, not only that, what he did, 30 Rock, he's still a character on 30 Rock. I mean, the boy has.
I got you, man. Let's run through it, man. 7 Up Yours, Soul Plane, Zoolander, The Cookout, Fat Girls, Johnson, Family Vacation, had the special Regular Black that was shot in Chicago. Of course, like BET's Comic View, all of that stuff, man. He's been featured at the Montreal Comedy Festival, the Just for Laughs festival they do over in Montreal. This brother is well-rounded. This brother is a very educated brother. He's very funny. If you don't know, you're about to find out, man. So right now we're gonna get into a clip, if I'm not mistaken, right, from Godfrey. Which clip you pulling up, bro?
This is a clip from Godfrey, and we're gonna get in the clip first, and then we're gonna talk to him, and then we're gonna get into it. Let's lighten the mood a little bit so we can kind of make sure that we don't just get into this yelling. Because you see, I'm all upset because I've been going through it. So we're gonna play this clip. This is God from.
That's the only way he'll respond. I know, I'm African. I know. You don't believe me because I have clothes on and shit. You say you African. They want that Discovery Channel African, you know? I know. That's the thing about Africa. People picture that. That's why you guys laughed hard. You know that. Like CNN does that shit when they do that. I love when they do those little documentaries in Africa, yeah? Those reports. Third world poverty. CNN is the best. And they love to send out that British correspondent. Because it's a good contrast. Because British people just make you feel inferior. Even if you have the same amount of money as they do. They open their mouths, hello. Oh, shit. They always send out that British correspondent in that fucking remote African village. And they gotta have it, he's white as hell. He has that fucking Anderson Cooper coif. And he has his sleeves rolled up like he's been doing something, and he's breathing just a bit. I'm here. In a remote village in the Congo. There has been tribal turmoil for years. This village has been riddled with violence for a long time. Behind me is a man. His name is Mbele. They just have some Africans standing by his door. Mbele's dream is to escape from this riddled village. Dreams of freedom for him and his 17 children. They just show babies naked. We interviewed Mbele to tell us the things going on in his village. Then they show Mbele in the next scene. Then they have an interpreter lying about what he's saying. I want to be a pilot someday. He did not say that shit. He's looking for a fly swatter. Fuck that. Poverty is something else, man. That shit is lucrative. You guys know that. Poverty is lucrative. Come on. Who doesn't go to a bookstore and look at some pictorials of poor people? Isn't it wonderful? Because poverty pictures, anybody that's poor is photogenic. I don't know what it is about poverty pictures. You can catch them doing fucking anything. You're like, hey, poor man. Congo, 1970. Wow. This is amazing. He's shitting in his own hat. But look at the beauty in his eyes.
This is awesome. Look at the poverty, but look at in her eyes, there is hope. There is beauty, huh? Look at that. That's her work scarf right there, right there. Now, boom, watch this. January, more poverty, bam. Look at that store right there. Barely got anything. Rotten bananas and shit, all kind of stuff. Look at that. Cambodia. She's like, can I get a passport? Can I get a visa? Nothing? Damn it. I gotta continue washing shit in this big unnecessary bowl. That's August. Bam, we're not done. United States poverty. Look at that. But he's not white or black. They still had a Mexican. Isn't that sad? India. What? It's dry cleaning, man. Look at that. No one's picked their dry cleaning up because they can't afford shit. Who the fuck fucks with sheep and shit? No one fucks with sheep anymore. In Turkey, Istanbul, that's poverty right there. Bam. Here we go. Indonesia. She's in an apartment right there. That's an apartment right there, man. Look at that. That's a fucking studio, man. In New York, that'd be like $5,000 a motherfucking month. You know this is a poor ass calendar when they got coupons for your ass. Coupons in the calendar. Sports Illustrated, they don't do that shit. Now do they? Do they have coupons? No. But the poverty calendar does. Look at that shit, the Peace Corps ain't got shit on this. Look at this. Look at all these poverty pictures. Everybody's suffering, except for the white guy, huh? Typical. You sneaky son of a bitches. Look at all these rich white people. Don't they look rich? Look at them. 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 Look at it. 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 They all have money. Everybody else is broke.
I'm going to South Africa on Friday. Yeah. I'm going. I don't know what to expect. I'm going to do comedy there. Yeah, I know, everyone's laughing.
White people.
What did he say? I mean, white people, you said?
Yeah.
She just said, white people. And that's all I have to say. Irrelevant heckling. White people. This one I'll say to the black man. White people. That should throw him off. Caucasians. That'll scare him. I don't know. Why did you say that? Why did you say that?
Because everybody met from South Africa.
What the fuck? What round are you in? The fuck? Punch drunk? I ain't gonna cut everybody. All of a sudden, she sounded like an old black man after that. She was like, white people. Well, everybody sometimes in South Africa. You know, a lot of white people go to South Africa. That's all I'm saying, baby. Shit, wanna play a tune for you? You just turned into a black man. How'd you do that? White people. Listen, let me explain something. You see, back in the day, there was an apartheid, so racism.
That shit is hilarious. What'd you say, man? I can't hear you. Got yourself on mute.
My fault. Yeah, one thing that's interesting about Godfrey, man, that I've noticed that a lot of people don't know about him is he's very versed on most subjects. You know what I'm saying? He can talk about pretty much anything and make it funny. I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? Like he said, he was flipping through a calendar. You saw him. he'll find the humor in it. You know what I mean? And that takes a certain level of intellect to be able to even do that.
That is true.
You know, it's easy to make sex jokes. It's easy to make racist jokes. Those things are kind of easy. You know what I mean? But literally, man, me and Godfrey went off 1 hour for like an hour just talking about space, and he was cracking everybody up, talking about black holes and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, man. You know, it's just one of those things. Now we did have Godfrey on the feed earlier. I think we might have lost him. There's a lot of weird stuff going on right now, so we don't really
Yeah,
know what's happening. Maybe
I
we can
think
get back on later.
I think they trying to shut us down here and now, so I keep fighting with the system. So we just gonna keep talking good about the brother. You know, like we said earlier, he was on the 7 Up Years commercial. Soul Plane. I know y'all saw him on Soul Plane. He was the pilot. You know what I'm
Everybody saw
saying?
Soul Plane. It was the
Everybody
most
saw
bootleg
Soul
movie of
Plane.
all time.
He was in the cookout too. The cookout was Queen Latifah, Fat Girls. I don't know if anybody's seen that. I saw it.
I
My
saw
wife.
Fat Girl. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I
But I
seen it.
mean, more importantly, it's not just about what he did; it's who he is. You know what I mean? Godfrey has a very particular image, man. He's tried to be himself. That's why I think he's so popular on these shows and these podcasts because Godfrey is unapologetically Godfrey. That's one thing
Yeah, he
for
does. He
sure.
does have a great podcast. If you go to his
Straight up.
GodfreyComedian.com, it pulls up his podcast right away. So just go
Yeah.
and you will see all his podcasts. I think on like episode 100 and something or whatever. He got a couple podcasts, but I think one of them is on episode 7. I was just watched. So he got a great podcast. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
in Godfrey we trust is the name of the podcast. My sister is the one who actually put me up on that podcast. She was listening to it when it was on XM. He's moved to a different network now. And that's a whole nother conversation. I wish we could have gotten to it with him about. But yeah, he's definitely, Godfrey's contribution to comedy has been going on for decades at this point. You know what I mean? Everybody in the world knows Buddy. Everybody knows he ain't no joke. Very few people want to follow him. And he can follow pretty much anybody. This is one of the baddest dudes on stage. And if you haven't got a chance to check him out live, this is what I try to stress to people. You got to see certain people live. Like I can watch a million Michael Jackson videos, but I'm pretty sure people who saw Michael Jackson live are like, those videos wasn't shit compared to the live performance.
Exactly.
So Godfrey, I think, is best experienced live. Next time, once the world opens up, once we get an opportunity to go back out to clubs and bars, and you see that man's name on the marquee and you haven't been there yet, go treat yourself, man. If you're ready to laugh after all this shit is over, trust and believe. And I know he's working on some stuff. That's why I wanted him to talk, man, because he's working on the tour and he's working on a few other things to do when we can come out of this whole situation, just feature him and some other comedians. And that's what I think comedy is healing, man. Comedy is love. One thing, laughter is they don't have race on it. I laugh at white comedians, Mexican comedians. I laugh at all kind of comedians. And that's what we're going to need, So I think that, coming out of this, man, let's just try to look out for the homie. Make sure y'all support.
And sometimes I try to bring that today. For some reason, I started out in a bad space. I think that's because so much is going on. And so much has been happening. They shutting down expressways. They're doing things again today. And, people can't get their medicine. Elderly people can't get their medicine, bro. Like it's stressful right now for the people who have it hard and the kids who got diseases and stuff they stole all the cancer medicine out of everywhere, bro. They literally they sucking us dry on that side and people not even thinking about that. And that's what was really was fueling, because sometimes it's easy to laugh but sometimes you need to let people know that the things are not good, are not right, and looting some of the places we was with y'all when y'all was at the police station. We didn't even understand how y'all even did that.
Straight up. DMVs, burning the DMVs. I was like, hell yeah, make sure y'all hit Equifax. Make sure y'all hit Visa. Don't be leaving out the big dogs. If you're going to loot, let's loot. Let's take them down on that level.
Dispensaries. They hit 3 dispensaries out here.
Not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised more liquor stores ain't been hit either.
So the places we think they were hit, they did. People say, well, why they? Yes, they did. Did they hit Trump? Yes, they did. Did they? Yes. They did everything. Yeah. Bro, it's crazy out here. It's lawlessness, and it's been it's felt like the purge for a couple of days. So hopefully we can bring some stuff back. And while we waiting on our big brother to get back in the shade, we're gonna go ahead to our next topic, and that is
Be throwing shade. Yeah, it's that time. It's weird because again, I don't want to just keep with the negative narrative, and I feel like the cliches are driving our emotions. You know what I'm saying? You hear stuff like, "Oh, this doesn't fit the narrative," and they had some narrative that we have to fit. I'm throwing shade on the media. I'm throwing shade on the media for not being transparent and showing both sides of what's happening. I think that it's kind of messed up that the same guy who went on record to support the fact that he thought Donald Trump should not be censored on Twitter is censoring what we're doing on social media. You know what I mean? Like Zuckerberg, whatever you want to call him. I know Zuckerberg is becoming a new hashtag for him. Is showing his true colors. I mean, our information has been stolen. He's apparently in bed with Donald Trump in some way, shape, and form. You know what I mean? He's definitely supporting things. And I think that's real crazy for a person who has a platform that has the ability to truly be honest. And if either you're going to stay out or you're not going to stay out, one way or the other is going to cause a problem. But if you stay out of it, you don't get blamed for the problems that's happening on your platform. If we see that the media is not putting these things out and we're trying to use this platform to get this information out, why are you censoring that? The video was taken. The videos have been taken. They're being shown. They're being shared for a reason. You let us do all these likes. You have us do all these other things, right? You own up all these other companies. You start about, and we participate, and we contribute. We create content. We do all these things, and you take that from us, but won't censor hate. And that's a real interesting stance to take right now. I'm also throwing shade on anybody, including Bo, who's talking shit about the protesters. Listen, you can't tell me to be nonviolent on the anniversary of the bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can't tell me that violence doesn't solve anything, but the dissension of the black race, we were rising in Oklahoma. They had their own hospitals, they had their own libraries, their own airports. Literally in Tulsa, they were building the beginning of a black civilization, and then that was bombed, causing millions of dollars of damages and putting 5,000 families in the street homeless. That's not what we did. We didn't do that. Mm-hmm. And you tell us to be nonviolent on the anniversary of one of the most violent acts against American citizens in history since taking this country. That's so stupid. Go ahead, bro.
First of all, that never came out of my mouth. I told you I was with the protesters and the rioters. Now, rioters burn shit and burn shit down. That is violent. I'm 100% understanding that you need violence in order to get free. You need they took the Boston Tea Party, violent. Everything America did to get this country was violent. The Indian-American War was violent. That's how they got the country. You know what I'm saying? When they got rid of the Civil War was violent. The black slaves got free violently. Everything is violent. Everything that they understand,
except for us. So that's my point. Except for us. One thing that people know.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm gonna say. One thing people know about this looting and these looters and whatever the organization may be, whether it be people who turned into looters or they came just to loot. One thing they know that America gives they really care about commerce. America cares more about commerce than even color. And if you can hurt the economics of a city, if you can hurt the economics of a country, then that's the only way you're really going to be able to hurt that country. We know they don't care about killing people on camera. We know they don't care about the protesters. They don't care about none of that. But they do care about that money. They do care about those trade lines. And that's why I can't be mad at any of them. I'm not saying I support the fact that I want to go out and loot, and I'm telling people to go out and loot, but I'm not going to be mad at anybody that's looting, to be 100 with you. Well, because that's how you hurt a fucking system.
Well, you say that, but to loot certain things we get, but to loot unnecessarily. Like, thing is,
when is it necessary then?
Unnecessarily is when they looting at 11 in the morning when you know what I'm saying? That's the wrong time to loot. And y'all,
hey man, I don't believe that, bro. We can disagree on that. We can just disagree on this. Cool.
Now, look, in Chicago, 20 people got shot Sunday. About 10, 15 people got shot yesterday. People are dying out, and these are people on the loot side. They're dying out here, bro. They still killing us. It's not help. It's not working for everybody. Now, when they looted overnight, we ain't hear nothing about these overnight stuff because we understood that they was in the cover of night. But they sending the teenagers out during the day. The teenagers is dumb enough to be out there. You know what I'm saying? These are our children, bro. If they gonna do it, we gotta teach them the right way. If you gonna rob a bank, you don't do it when all the police are there. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they doing, and it's obviously showing that they're organized as hell. Now, some couple of these groups out here, they are super organized, and I'm not mad at them because they hitting the Rolex stores and the DMV.
But that's what I'm saying, man. This ain't the time to pick and choose.
And
this ain't the time to pick and choose.
But
it's gonna be listen. It's collateral damage in every war. This country has sent troops into places and infiltrated their governments to cripple their economies. This government has sent people with tanks and guns to kill people in the name of freedom. I don't care that they did it in the daytime. I don't care that they did it at night. I'm not even saying I'm not pro looting and I'm not anti looting. I'm just understandable. I'm just like I'm trying to be understanding, and I get it. Anything that's going to be this difficult is not going to be easy, and there's going to be opposition.
Yeah, the looters have their place. I'm not fully like against them because I know, like, thing is, I understand why they're looting. You kept us in the house for 2 months. You took all our money. You starved us with food, told us the meat had to go up. Everything, all prices went up when you took our jobs, made us stay in the house for 2 months, starved us out, told us we couldn't have beef, took all the toilet tissue, and then you powder kegged us with this, and then you made it was ready for us to explode. This was
so that's what's happening. There's no rational
understand that. And I understand you give a hungry person an opportunity to take something, they gonna take it. They'll be afraid not to. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. But again, a lot of it is unnecessarily doing it. A lot of
what else was unnecessary? It was unnecessary for them not to lock them cops up. It was unnecessary for them to lock up one cop. You know how they could have stopped this shit? Maybe if the president wouldn't have said, if you loot, we shoot, then maybe it wouldn't have happened. Let's put the blame where the blame is. You're blaming the victim, bro.
No, I'm hoping to tell the victims to do it the smarter way. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to tell you guys, if you're going to do it, again, if you listen to like the way that they're doing it, they're getting shot, they're getting caught, and it ain't working. It's making it all look bad. Now the loot
is not working.
Right now is working against us. It was working, but it's starting to work against us. It really is.
No, man, that's what they telling us, so we stop. That's what I'm saying, bro. This is programmed.
I'm out here with the people, bro. Like
I'm out here with people too. What is you saying?
No. I mean, like the elderly don't have like, bro. It's getting crazy. Like people finna be dying out here.
They got us motherfucking wearing masks to go to the grocery store already. We standing in lines to get in the grocery store. You want to talk to me about how the elderly can't get stuff?
None of the grocery stores here, bro. They didn't open none of them here.
They didn't open them here.
They ain't open nothing here. It's crazy.
They had to. But you know what? Shut them all down. If you want me to be completely honest, you want to make this show take this narrative, then this is where we gonna go. At the end of the day, burn the motherfucker to the ground there. And I'll say it on the show. Because fuck this government, fuck this system. This system is a sick system of government that's been killing people since they landed on this land and they never paid for those. Fuck this country up so they'll listen. Maybe we gotta fuck the country up so they'll listen. Maybe they're gonna have to turn them guns on the same people that's paying for the bullets for them to listen. And if it takes the looting, if it takes the rioting, and if it takes the protest, if it takes a powder keg of all of that for that to happen, so be it. I don't care. Everybody who's crying about property and not crying about lives right now is pissing me off, to be 100 with you. Because you're forgetting the fact that it wouldn't be happening if these cops wasn't out here killing us that we've been begging them to stop doing for fucking centuries. That's why it's happening. Now this is where we at.
Which I'm definitely, I post today.
I know you're not against it.
about the property and people caring more about the property than the lives. But what I'm talking about is the lives. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the lives. I'm talking about the 20 new deaths of black young youth. I'm talking about that. That's what I'm speaking to. So yes,
Die for something. You
yes,
told me
burn the system
yourself.
down.
You
Fuck this.
told me yourself. Stand for something or die for anything. Fall for anything.
I
They are
did say that.
dying for fucking reasons. They are dying for freedom. You know how many black people we've lost fighting for freedom? You know how many dogs were sicked on us in houses and fire? I just told you, dude. The anniversary of the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing was Sunday. I don't
But
care
those
about the
people
peace.
wasn't rioting; they were being bombed, bro. You see what I'm saying? They
I
were.
get what, yeah, the government
They were.
bombed Tulsa,
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
yeah. They bombed black people
The
because they
government
want us
did.
to have business. So they still don't want us to have business. Why you think they allowed us to loot longer on the west side and on the south side? Why you think they didn't allow nobody downtown? They allowed them all day like that. It was a purposeful thing. They want you to tear up only black business. When they went up north, they start shooting at people. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do that out west. They didn't do that out south. They didn't have 50,000 police protecting the black businesses. They did not. That's why they started going to Walmarts. Because they said, oh, y'all want to send us to the black neighborhoods? We will go where black people shop that black people don't own. So that's why the kids started hitting Walmarts. That's why. Because they knew. Come on, bro. Like, they purposeful in everything. They had planned this from long time ago. We late. We just reacting. But our reaction still has to be smart, concise, and as a group. And we still can't lose soldiers unnecessarily because we need
Oh,
these
I think
soldiers.
it's necessary. I don't. I'm not going to sit here and say anybody who died in the name of police injustice. I will not go on record saying that anybody who died in the name of what's going on right now was unnecessary. Unfortunately, this is a sick system, no different than Chappelle said. And sometimes some people see some sick shit and they get involved. And they might get involved with the wrong intentions. I mean, with the right intentions, but with the wrong methods because we're not organized. Because, like you said, no different than before the cops was the 20 people that the cops killed, apparently. How many? The first argument is going to be, well, how many people do y'all kill without the cops? How many
Right.
black people kill black people? You can't use those type of statistics to justify good or bad. What you can look at is why did they die? Why did they loot? Why are we dealing with this? Because if they would have said Monday morning, we locked the other 3 police officers up, they've been brought into custody, I would bet every drop of blood in my body that this would have subsided.
Yes.
But they didn't do that.
Hey, and I say the same thing.
That's like, it's a bully, bro. So if somebody keeps smacking you in the face, how many times you gonna turn your face? If
Nice.
somebody keeps stealing from you, how many times you gonna let them keep stealing from you before you like, you know what, I'm gonna come steal from you?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's
Exactly.
going to do it. This is causality. This is causation. This is a
You don't even
reaction
know
to
what
a
that word means.
system. I do, Nick. I know.
Spell causation.
Do you even hear the root of the word? Are you trying to don't insult my intelligence, bro? Come on, man. Stop that. Spell causation. Spell calcifidialistic espialidocious, and then I'll spell causation.
You know, I had to get you. I thought you was gonna get another light, but I see you still in the refrigerator today.
Yeah, man. I got the fridge light, man. I'm good with this, man. I ain't black as you. I don't need as much light.
I need a lot of light.
You got somebody peeled the roof off of that house for us to be able to see you. That's got to be God's sunshine hitting your face because you got on a black shirt and I can still see your beard. That's different.
Hey, you ain't never lying, bro.
I'm just saying, man. I get the fact that I'm not saying go out and loot tomorrow, but what I'm saying is for the people who decided to do it, well, I don't care. How about that? I don't care. I get that it's violent, and I do get that it's destroying property, and I'm not about any of those things. But this is bigger than property. This is bigger than material goods. I'm not going to put focus on what's being tore up outside of the lives of people who are not getting the opportunity to at least speak on their own behalf, that are being murdered and executed in the street on camera. That's what this is about. Let's not lose focus. they will spin it a million different ways, and that's what they do. This is what Jim Crow was designed to do: turn me and you against each other, so we have opposing views, so we can't get together and make anything happen.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna speak bad on it. I'm not gonna really speak pro on it. But all I'm gonna say is it's happening, and I know why it's happening. That's all that matters.
Then that's makes sense, bro. And I'm gonna just jump right on in to FaceTime right now.
Yeah.
I want to let everybody know that I want to give FaceTime to the future. And I hope y'all understand what this means. I want to give FaceTime to not even focusing on what's got destroyed and not even worrying about what's been happening. But let's focus on let's regrouping, let's regather, let's re-up, let's get our money right, let's buy our buildings back. Since we done did the smart thing and took them back from the man, because they ain't gonna want them after you burn them down and tore it down and made it terrible. So what we can do is just buy this land now, even though it might cost, they might not even cost that much. It's already in the black neighborhood, so it's already cheap. And now it's burned down, but it may cost a little blood, sweat, and tears. We all come together and we start rebuilding, building by building, buying land back piece by piece. And you see how better life could probably be. So I'm giving FaceTime to let's do it the right way. And hopefully I get this dog to shut up.
All right, and I want to point something out. I don't know if anybody else, I'm pretty sure everybody else got this, man, but I got an email from Lyft. And I thought that was interesting. The email from Lyft said that systematic racism is deeply rooted in our society, and it's important that Lyft supports organizations that fight it. As part of our continued commitment to communities of color through Lift Up, our transportation access initiative, we provided $500,000 in ride credit to national civil rights organizations who have been working to facilitate essential transportation and equitable access during the recent crisis. The National Urban League, NAACP, National Action Network, Black Women's Roundtable, National Bail Fund Network. In Minneapolis specifically, we will be donating Lift Up ride credits to Lake Street Council to facilitate rides to volunteers assisting with the rebuild effort. Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, so that's something I looked at, and I was kind of you gotta text me or something, bro. But that's something I looked at this week that was very powerful. This was a corporation that stood up and said, hey, we're gonna help with the assistance of rebuilding. They didn't attack the people who were tearing stuff down. They rather build up the people who are about the rebuilding of this society. And that was a huge pledge.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, I was off. My unsung hero was just on the phone. He called me actually from an accident site. He was on his way getting off, and a big car accident happened on the expressway. So he had to stop and become a hero. So he said he's gonna try to call in when he get everything together. But we know how these things happen. If it's a bad enough accident, we probably
Police officer, that's what he
may not be able to hear from. I just got off the phone with him. That's why I had myself on mute. I was talking to him. I didn't want to be rude.
No worries. No, it's all good. But yeah, man, let's not forget that outside of my house, let me tell you, I mean, like I said, man, outside of my house right now, there are helicopters flying. There are police officers, and I'm in the cushiest of cushy areas. I'm not in San Francisco. I'm not in Oakland. I'm not in San Jose. I live in Menlo Park. Menlo Park is one of the richest suburbs in the entire country. All right. This is where most of the Stanford professors live. As a matter of fact, the person who built this house was a Stanford professor. Right. So what I'm saying is, like, outside of what we're doing right now, this is still happening. There are still people out here who are protesting. There's still people out here who might be rioting. The police are still inciting violence. And that's something that's not being talked about. I saw peaceful protests all yesterday in Menlo Park and Palo Alto in the streets. I saw kids from Stanford. I saw little young kids. When I say kids, like 20, 19, 17. I saw some adults. I saw some grown-ups too, but mostly young adults. And I saw them protesting without problems. As soon as the curfew hit, I heard sirens. They were coming from everywhere. And then I heard explosions. But all day, the police stood there. No one tried to engage them. They didn't try to engage us. As soon as it got dark, that's when I heard sirens and explosions. But it's a curfew, so we can't go outside. We can't go see what's going on. The only thing we can get is what they're telling us. So originally they were telling us that the rioters and looters were coming out at night. Then videos started resurfacing that, well, maybe it wasn't rioters and looters. Maybe it was the police. And then people took advantage of what they set up. There's been multiple videos of police officers inciting violence, inciting looting, helping people loot. You just put up a picture of it. So this was a hard show for me and Bo to do. We knew it was going to be kind of interesting today. We knew it wasn't going to be the typical show because of it's not the even with everything else that's been crazy. This is not the typical time. You know, so that's what's happening outside my house. You know what I'm saying? Now this brother was on his way to get on this show, and right outside of your house, Bo, that's what's going on.
I mean, right outside here, Terry, my friend, like our hero is our friend. We went to high school with our hero
Terry Young, by the way.
Terry
Terry
Young,
Young.
Officer Terry Young. We went to high school with him, and he, yeah, our hero. He taking the place of our help hero. Did we got a new hero?
No, dog was like, "What y'all over there doing? I want to get on that show. What y'all talking about? Yeah, I'm a white dog. I'm trying to let y'all look at that white privilege. What's that dog's name? Privilege?
I was about to
bust up in your lap.
I was about to kill a little dog because he's white.
Little white privilege.
And little white privilege. That's his name. Little white privilege. But
hey, WP, let's hit
it. Definitely, Terry was on his way to the show tonight. He was coming here. We had just got the phone with him. He said he was on his way, just got off work, and police is really short-handed. And like I said, they're blocking everything off, and they're sending people on the expressway. So I'm thinking people is making U-turns on the expressway. It's still crazy out there. It's really nuts. As soon as the show started, I came from Bright being out there. So that's how flustered I was. So just imagine if for someone who didn't have food or something like that.
I was saying, I know why you pissed, because I was on the phone with you 20 minutes before the show, and you was dealing with what's going on outside, and then that energy leaked into what we was doing, and that's to be expected, though. And that's what I'm saying about these people who are taking advantage. It's just be expected. Why would they not? If I ain't got shit and it's some free shit, I'm gonna take that shit. I see $20 on the ground. I don't look around to see who dropped the money. I pick that shit up and I put it in my pocket. And that's what's going on. But outside, that's what I'm saying. So like you were saying, like they're literally shutting down streets and shit like that. I mean, again, I don't understand what it is that's really going on. I think a lot of people feel that way. You know what I mean? Like we have an 8:30 curfew. What's the curfew in Chicago? You know?
Honestly, that's what TY was gonna tell us, because they still instilling that right now. I'm thinking it's 8:30. I don't know, because the show ends at 8:30, so I'll be out there and I will know for sure if that's the curfew. We want to give a couple shout outs to a lot of our heroes. There's comics, there's children, there's our kids out there that's regular activists. This is Justin Cosby. He is a young comic in Chicago. They've been holding him all weekend. No one has heard from him. Hopefully we can get word of what's going on with you, young Prince, and we can get you out this weekend. So there's a lot.
9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Akila just said it's 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Hey, and shout out Jamie Foxx for being in San Francisco yesterday at the protest. That was heavy, man. There's a lot of celebrities that are kind of standing up. Even Michael Jordan, the oldest coon in the book, the one black man we hate more than Obama, actually stood up and said something about the injustice and how it has to stop. Now, everybody's been very mad at him for never being vocal, but that shows for a person who's not vocal ever about any politics. Jordan has definitely lived a career where he's tried to steer clear politics. He's like, I'm an athlete. I'm not an activist. I understand I'm people's heroes. I don't want to divide people. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, he's an industry. So he was trying to protect his industry by not participating in politics. He's never endorsed one president. Not one. He never endorsed anyone for any office. This is one of the most influential men in the world. And the first time he broke his silence on that was now.
Well, I was wondering
Well,
what
I
a
was
celebrity
wondering what a celebrity
TikToking like a
TikToking
motherfucker
like a
last week,
motherfucker last week.
and
Yeah.
this week
They was
they
there.
was.
They had us all tuning into their lives. You ain't seen nobody live and in person while we in the street.
And the question is,
But
if Muhammad Ali had Twitter and TikTok and all these things with his activism and Jim Brown, would we would have a lot more celebrities. Someone asked me if Beyonce and and LeBron James did something as simple as tweet, "We gonna stand up and march on the Capitol." Do you know how many people in America would be there?
Where's Beyonce? Where's Jay-Z?
Where is the people with the real voices? Yeah, we had 4 to 8,000 people out there, but these people fill out these stadiums 40, 50,000 people when they come to Chicago. Why don't you say Chicago? If you look, ride with me. Where is our celebrities? Why are y'all not willing? Y'all already got the millions. What more do you want? More millions? I'm not understanding. So for me, I'm just happy that some of them are starting to stand up outside of Atlanta because they really cared about Atlanta. They
Yeah.
shit about, but they did not stand up for anybody else at that point. So I'm glad now that people are starting to get out there and say stuff.
Yeah, man. Straight up. Straight up. Now, the reason I was really upset that we couldn't get Terry on here is because he's a police officer, and I know there's a lot of anger to anybody in a uniform. Truthfully, as soon as I see uniforms, I'm a little upset myself. Now, I got family members, you know what I mean, who also went to Hillcrest, who are police officers and state troopers and things of that nature, and work in the police field. Not even just police officers. I have family. There's dispatchers and things of that nature, right? And I know the whole if it's one good cop and one bad cop is two bad cops. There's some truth there. There is some truth there. But a lot of times this is really not up to them, and they did take an oath to do a job, and they're being paid to do a job, and they have to do what it is they have to do to keep the peace, even if we don't want them to, even if we don't like it. These police officers are going to have a job, so there's going to be some good police officers that are going to get caught up in this, and the bad police officers are going to, of course, still get away with a lot of stuff. That's why it's been as bad as it is. So it's hard for me to hate. I will never say I hate I hate all of the cops. I hate the police institution. The men that's involved in it, I don't hate. It's no
Right.
different than that. I'll be 100% honest and say that I'm not a great supporter of some of the things we do at the hands of our military to other countries. But I don't hate the people who are in uniform.
No.
They're following orders. They took an oath and they're being paid for it. I understand it. Even if I don't agree with it, I can't blame them because this is their job. This is what takes care of their family, and they've been trained to do things. Now, some of that training has to change. Maybe the whole police complex needs to change entirely. We don't know what that is because small little steps like body cams and stuff didn't do anything but let us see them kill us. You know,
Mhm.
so it's one of those things where it would have been good to be able to get his voice, man. But as a person who has family and friends that are police officers, man, no different than we don't want people to look right at us and say that you're a looter, you're a thug. We shouldn't look at every police officer and automatically assume they bad.
Well,
You
and
know?
and that's why we wanted to have our friend as a hero on here to kind of get people to understand the narrative is not all police, it's bad police. But the problem is if what people would say is if you're watching a bad police officer, you're not saying anything, you're also in cahoots. So that's what he was also here to talk about, like that the fact that they all don't. That's not what all police officers do. And then what happens to the ones that actually do. So there's a lot, it's a lot deeper than what people just think. There are people who stand up and say things. We were seeing officers do that in the riots and during the protests. We've seen a female officer push a white officer away who was pushing a female protester. They stand up and they fight, and there's some people who say things, and I'm pretty sure they get blackballed and get put on certain patrol. So, we were just trying to get an idea and let people know that don't just target all police, because we did see something where even in New York they ran over a cop.
Yeah.
And we're not looking for just we actually want to burn the system, but we want to change the system, and we want it to work. We don't the people are still changeable. If we gotta assume that the people are able to be changed, so or moved out of that system and gone somewhere else. How about that?
Yeah, 100%. And it's not going to happen with a conversation, unfortunately, because we've tried to have a conversation. So since it's not happening with a conversation, we got to protest, and then other people are taking advantage of it for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, it's going to go down as in the name of injustice against Black people. So the one thing that literally brought me to tears this weekend was seeing all the people that don't look like me, that don't look like Bo, that were being harmed by the police for trying to protect Black people's right to not be killed by the police. Now, if
Exactly.
that isn't a great depiction of why things are so chaotic right now, I don't know what else is, man. When I saw those people in New York they put the barricade like, nah, we're blocking the street, we're protesting. Y'all see we're protesting. They didn't throw it at the cop car, they put it down in the street, and the cop car pulled up to that barricade. Then his buddy came with the next car, and then he plowed forward into those protesters, and then a guy in front of the gate hit the gas and plowed forward and used the gate to run those people over. Those
Mm,
people need to be brought up on charges too. Those people need to be taken into custody. Like we need to be no different than looters. Look, if you looting and you get caught, that's on you. If you looting and you get caught, you took that risk. No different than that cop took that risk when he hit that gas pedal and he ran those people over, man. And it was
mhm.
not a black person. Bo, there was not a black person in that crowd that he ran over.
Yeah. So
That
it's crazy.
that's showing you where we at. That's showing you where we're coming, what we are building on, because it's no different than the Me Too movement, and no disrespect to any women who had anything that happened to them, but no different than we couldn't expect just the victims of the Me Too movement to stand up until people who were not women
Mhm,
got upset at what was happening. You notice it didn't change. Women got
mhm.
upset enough, and men was like, "Hey, man, yeah, I'm tired of people treating me like that because all these others. I'm running around here. I've been saying this for 2 years. You mean to tell me dudes just been running around here raping chicks? I'm out here trying to be a gentleman and be nice, and y'all just out here taking the pussy." And I'm out here trying to not do that, trying to be right. Not asking for permission, like, hey, do you mind if I can get a little bit? But you know what I'm saying.
Speaking of taking, did these fools really take a giraffe?
Hey, man, that's happening in Chicago now. I don't know what. Bro, I heard it. I heard they was selling monkeys in the hood. I heard that it was monkeys for sale from the zoo, wild animals.
They were selling monkeys, man.
They were selling monkeys. It's rhinoceroses and giraffes walking around Chicago. I like it, man. I'm be
It
honest
went
with you. I
down.
like. I'm not even. I joke about it. I'm not an anarchist. You know what I'm saying? I love the liberties that we have when we run in a society that works. But when it's not working, this is what you get. Right when Prince Harry was married, I don't know if you remember that. When Prince Harry got married about, I don't know, was that 10 years ago, maybe now? When he got married, they tried to pass some BS legislation during that ceremony. So while everybody was celebrating and having a good time, like, oh my God, the prince is getting married to the black chick. That's dope, man. We love it. We love it. The government did something underhanded. And the very next week, you know what they did? They tore that country up.
Mm-hmm.
They rioted, they looted, they set shit on fire. They was like, you thought you was slick. You thought we wasn't going to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Akila says fake news. Is that really Akila or is that Trump posing as Akila? I'm not sure. Broke animals. The animals broke out. So animals did. Maybe animals didn't, but I did see pictures of animals in Chicago. I don't know how they did that. Or maybe, I don't. Let me stop. I was about to say some stupid shit, but no.
Hey, Keela said, "Don't come to my house looking for that goddamn giraffe. This is my dog."
Yeah, Akila must have been in on it and shit. She had
Oh.
a fucking anarchist anyway, so she's like, fake news. Hey, shut up, man. Don't be bringing that shit up, man. Hey, that ain't true. We wasn't there. I mean, that didn't happen.
If you don't tell nobody it happened, it didn't happen, man.
Yeah, man.
It's fake
I'm
news.
pretty sure there were good people on both sides. The people who liberated the animals and the people who mad about it.
We gonna talk about some growth stories. Like we just trying to think about the one time we've been on the road where something tragic has happened.
Macon, Georgia.
Wow. Macon, Georgia. That sounds
with everything that's going on right now, what year do you think that was, Bo? We did that show with Damon. We talked about it a little bit on the show with Damon Williams, but we didn't get into the story.
No, we didn't. I think that was. Oh, we should have talked about it with Damien more. Jesus.
Yeah. But we were
Making
doing a show.
Georgia
Me and Bo, we got booked to do a show.
2002.
It had to be like 2002 or three, maybe three. But we were booked on the show in Macon, Georgia. Damon Williams had set the show up. We thought we were doing a show in Atlanta. He said, Georgia, all the shows we do are in Atlanta, right? And we driving and we kicking it. We passed through Atlanta and we like, hey, how much further we got to go? And then we remember we called Damon because Damon was doing about a lot more than he
2000.
should have. Yeah, he was doing a lot more than he should have.
2000.
Rolling. And I remember Marlon Mitchell called him. He said, hey, Damon, your foot hanging out the grill of the car, man. Where the fuck are we going? Yeah, I could see your shoe dangling on the front of the bumper. You got your foot through the car. And Damon was like, we almost there. And we get to Macon, but we stopped and we went to go get something to eat, right? Because we were hungry because we thinking we stopping in Atlanta. We still drove another hour maybe to get to Macon. And we go to this diner, just random diner, just like you would in any town. And we walked in the door and we can hear the forks hit the plate.
Man, just
You
like
remember that?
it said blink. We was like, oh Lord. How y'all doing, white people? We just here to eat some of these pies. They was like,
Yeah, it was just like that. It was just like in life. Because I think it was you. I can't remember who said like, no, man, we already here. We might as well eat. Damon, being the elder statesman of the crew, was like, nah, I think we can go find something to eat somewhere else. The thing that got me is not only did we hear all the forks hit the plate, the waitress comes up to us and she says, like, can I help you? She was confused. She didn't say, are you guys here to eat? How many people are in your party? She came up to us concerned, like, can I help you? Like, get out of here.
please,
Don't stay.
please.
And we was like, we young, we stupid. We're like, yeah, man, no, we about to eat. We got that power over there. I'm about to give him that. And then Damon stopped the whole situation from happening. Up to that point in my life, I had never dealt with anything like that. I've never walked into a restaurant and had people stop eating because they see me.
Yeah,
And not because we was famous either.
well,
Damon was.
actually, I was the dark skinned one of the group, so I got all the racial stuff. Y'all big light skinned ones always avoided it because they kind of didn't even want to travel with you, and then y'all had that tint of light skinned.
Yep.
He said, "Yep."
That's true. Hey man, look, my father told me a long time ago. My father is from the middle of Mississippi, Louise, Mississippi. You hear what I'm saying? If anybody know what that is, my mom is also from Mississippi. My dad told me that I will have better opportunities in this world because my skin is fairer. My father was even more fair skinned than I was. A lot of people thought my dad was black and white, or they thought he was mixed because he was red. But my grandmother's Native American Indian, and my father was red, so he looked kind of white because that's how white people tan. They kind of turn red. And he told me I would have more opportunities because he knew that between him and his brothers, when it was really prejudice, that he would be the one that they would allow to go into the house to get the water. He had a person. My father, from his mouth to my ears, told me when they were working for some of the other people in Mississippi, like the white people they worked for, that they told him when he was a boy, you're the only one we're going to allow to let touch the doorknobs. Don't let your other brothers touch the doorknobs, because he was lighter. That's the type of stuff they told little children. You more light skinned, so it's okay for you to touch the door, but you keep them little dirty black hands off my door. Don't you tell your brothers don't touch my door. That's what they were preaching to children. Okay, so it's like I heard those stories and I was hoping those stories were in the history, right? Because I went to my dad one day. I was like, Dad, can you believe they had black only fountains? And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, and we couldn't even go in the front door of restaurants. We had to go in the back. And he was like, what else you learned today? I was like, we had to sit upstairs in the movie theaters and all this stuff. And my father just let me talk.
He lived.
Yeah, and he was like, boy, you talking about my life. That ain't history. That's recent history. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I drank out of black only fountain. I was like blown away. So I thought that, by that time in our life, I would never have to deal with anything like that. And then the shirt that I'm wearing right now, the Black Lives Matter shirt that I'm wearing right now, is actually a prop from a TV show. I was booked to do a TV show and be a protester on TV, not in real life like they're doing right now. A protester on murder in the first. Okay. And I was a Black Lives protester, and I was standing in front of police officers. This T-shirt has been on my wall of fame since then. I got a bunch of memorabilia, right? And I looked at it, and it was like, am I going to have to take this off the wall and put it on? I really was hoping that this would always be able to stay on that wall, and I'd never, ever have to use it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a damn shame that after everything my parents and my grandparents and your parents and grandparents been through and everything we've been through, here we are in 2020 where I have a 19-year-old son, and this is still the conversation.
You know, it's true, and it is a shame, and that it's fortunately has destroyed and taken the full narrative of everything. And we hopefully we can turn narrative to people talking about rebuilding and regrouping and regathering. Because I know that as far as I'm concerned, I've been holding up and trying to not crazy. I've been trying to tell my people to calm down. I've been reaching out because a lot of my nephews and nieces, you know, I got a big family, so
You huge family.
a lot of them,
Got more family than the Wayans brothers.
a lot of them are out there, and that's what it's like. It's one hand, it's like, yeah, burn the system down until you know for sure that your people out there burning it and getting shot at. And had Damon on the show last week. His son got hit in the head with a club and arrested.
I saw that. I saw that last week.
So, he could have easily, we saw a female get shot in the head with a rubber bullet. It took a lot of her skin off, almost took her
She's going to need plastic surgery, bro. Ain't no way around it.
It's like, so yeah, burn the system down. Yeah, we with it. Yeah, all that. And on the other hand, I'm still a human being and seeing my people. I know that the rioters started out as hijackers who really aren't black, and I know that the protesters are the ones who peaceful. But I also know that now that because my people late, they done hijacked the good stuff. Now they done broke the windows to all the bad stuff, and the people in my neighborhood ain't got no choice but to go, and they shouldn't because you're exposed now. Let's do it the right way. Let's figure out the right way, and let's work on the future and getting better and changing the laws. Forget Jim Crow laws. Fuck all these new rules. Everything that the police was taught. You notice that they gave the order. This is what I want to say. They gave the order for the police not to be violent.
And they still were.
No, but why did they have to give that order?
Because they're violent.
They had to already, that shouldn't even been an option. And that's why we in a situation right now, because they have the right. Like we said earlier, if the governor would have did two things, arrested those 3 cops,
yep,
and even lied to us and said, yep, we're going to enact a law that a police officer cannot kill a civilian,
an unarmed civilian,
or a civilian in custody. They could just say that, and it probably would have never got this far.
Or they could just say, if you kill an unarmed man, you will be prosecuted for murder. It's different if they shot Dylan Roof when he had assault rifles and they didn't shoot him. No, they didn't shoot him. He had guns and everything. He got into custody and went to court. But if you're shooting unarmed people and then not shooting armed people, there is a serious rift in the system. How are non-threatening people dying in police custody? That does not make sense. How are armed active shooters living and there's a coincidence most of these people that get shot that aren't armed are black or Mexican. When I first moved here, when I first moved here, they killed Philando Castile, I think is his name. I'm trying to remember because there's so many deaths that have happened in the last 10 years that we know were stupid. But there was a young Mexican kid up in Santa Rosa, man. And if anybody from up there is watching and remember, man, put it in the comments whether it's now or later. But it was a young kid that was killed at the hands of the police, and they protested. They did all kind of stuff in the street. You never heard about it on the news. Then they killed the black kid, and it did get on the news. And I can't remember which one was first now because they were pretty close, you know. And I noticed that kid, the black narrative of death is easier to push in America. Like Mexicans getting killed is not going to be as violent. It's not gonna be as turbulent, and it doesn't push an agenda for them apparently. But these Mexican kids are getting killed in the street too. These Mexicans are being killed. These Haitians are being killed. You know, these white kids are being killed. Polish kids, everybody. Listen, this is while black people are at the forefront of what's happening. I think the reason why we've gotten support from other communities is because they're like, hey, this is getting so out of control. They can just do that to me at this point. That wasn't some 19-year-old kid they killed. That man was 10 years, 15 years older than me. This wasn't a kid they killed. They executed a grown ass black man
in the middle of broad daylight
while being recorded,
knowing that people was watching you and not even caring.
Yeah. And if you got a problem with Kaepernick kneeling and not a bigger problem with this cop kneeling on this man's neck until he dead, I hope everything comes to you deserve, because you're wicked.
For real.
You wicked. Cap spoke nothing about the flag, spoke nothing about America. He said the police are killing innocent black people in the streets, and I can't stand for a country that's doing that. It's hypocritical of me. And they said, you're disrespecting the flag. And it was like, what? So now we got this going on. Now cops are kneeling on people's necks, and they're like, Antifa must be stopped.
I know, right?
I was like, fuck that.
Where the hell does Antifa come from?
I don't know Antifa. Ain't seen Anita Baker. I don't know Annie Taylor. None of that.
People I know, she was with my baby mama, and I told her to stay away because she kept.
I know Antonitha. Remember Antonitha? I don't know goddamn Antifa. Remember Antonitha with the mole? How you say her name? Was it Antonitha? Antonitha was fine, boy. She had that beauty mark and stuff, boy. And she was, anyway, but that's what I'm saying. Antifa came out of nowhere for us. That might have been a problem that white people were dealing with. But black people, there's been no discussions anywhere before. I heard it come out the president's mouth on any of my feeds, on any of my inboxes. I'm gonna be straight up with you on this too, Bo, and tell the truth. This is our platform. How many texts have you received to go looting? How many? That Jay's like, hey man, we tearing this shit up. Come over here.
I didn't get it to go, but I got hey, this is where we're going. So I knew to tell my people, hey, they gonna be here, so don't go out there, or hey, they gonna be there, so don't. So I didn't know where they were going. Like I didn't know specifically Target or specifically this, but they would say, all right, we going to Northbrook. So I'm like, okay, I know everybody going to Northbrook, type deal.
Got you. So got you. But I mean, did they say bring a hammer? We smashing glass. We about to fuck shit up. Is that what they sent you?
Nah, see, they know I got a bunch of hammers, but I wasn't gonna get none of mine.
They're like, Bo got all the tools. Bring some monkey wrenches and some hammer.
See, if I get them my hammer, I won't have no more hammers. Then I can't get one at Home Depot because they shut down. See, I shut down for the aftermath of what they doing.
How about this? I guarantee you this goes on for at least 2 weeks. You want to know how I know?
So they telling you?
They told me because my son told me, because my son's an essential worker and he works for Menards. Okay. But one of the Menards apparently got torched out there in Chicagoland.
Yes, a couple
Menards told my son that we will not reopen any location for 2 weeks.
Well, apparently they're going to be instilling some kind of what's the name of it?
Like martial law?
It's not martial law. It's called the Stafford Act.
Oh, right. Which is, basically martial law.
Well, they're sending out this paper to people saying Homeland Security is preparing to mobilize the National Guard, preparing to dispatch them across the U.S. along with the military. They will also call in first responders. They are preparing to announce a nationwide 2-week quarantine for all citizens, all businesses closed, everyone at home. They will announce this as soon as they have troops in place to prevent looters and rioters. Within 48 to 72 hours, the president will invoke what is called the Stafford Act, and the president will order a 2-week mandatory quarantine for the nation. Stock up on whatever you need to make sure you have a 2 week supply of everything. Please forward to your family and friends. And this is a family member who's in the National Guard. They got this letter today from that.
It was forwarded to me as well. I got that same, but from a different source than the circles that we in. I got it from another source too.
Yeah, and then my officer friend who was he also got the same letter. So definitely, guys, go
Prepare
down.
yourself.
And that's
Not today, but tomorrow.
no, not today, tomorrow for sure.
It is Blackout Tuesday.
Yeah,
We didn't really speak on that. And I haven't bought anything. I haven't been able to leave the house. I haven't been able to get anything done. I mean, this is what I'm saying, Bo. Like, I understood your rage and your anger at the beginning of the show because I haven't been able to get anything done because of those same emotions. I'm trying to hold it together for the show's sake because I know you a hothead and I could be a hothead, so you put these. We just gonna tear it up, and I'm trying to show that we the yin and the yang. Today, use the angry face. I'm the happy face. You
I
know, it's
was
nice.
angry face today, and you
Use
know
the
I
angry
don't
face. I'm
really.
the happy face, but it's not that I'm happy. I'm not smiling because I'm happy. I'm smiling because we're able to still do this and continue pushing what we're doing forward, regardless of what else is going on. And that it's nice that we do have a platform that we can speak on to actually voice our opinion. Everybody doesn't get that. So I understood your rage, man, because I'm not playing. I have money I need to collect that I'm so pissed off I can't even go pick up the money.
But see, it was coming. Like I said, I literally came straight off the road, like and I'm not mad at the police, and I wasn't mad at. I'm really all the way not mad at the looters. I'm upset at everything because it's just it's overdue. Yes, it's well overdue, but it's scary at the same time, and it's not. It's a fight we should have had, and we not really out there. It's the 16-year-olds, it's the 12-year-olds out there looting and stealing. It's people got their kids out there. It's they still in they like I said, they still in cancer medicine for what, bro? You see what I'm
They
saying?
can't afford it, maybe.
For sale.
Now that medicine that we can't afford, that we can just go pick up for our people in our family that have cancer. I mean, there's more reasons to this demand. That's what I'm saying. Be careful, bro,
Well,
because
see, in my
this is
brain,
bigger.
I'm thinking like a lot of this. If we can't just say there's Antifa, there's white people, there's hijackers, there's these other people hijacking the thing, and don't think that they're involved in those parts as well. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're purposely hijacking, they're purposely stealing our medicine. Because we don't know to look for high classes, flockum, blocka, blocka, slocka, rock.
Whatever the hell it is,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? We don't know hydrochlorophlonac. We don't know these words. The people,
I
the
know.
CEOs that's running in these stores ain't looking to see if this is cancer medicine.
Well, if anybody stole any of that liquid Cialis, inbox me.
But I know
Protest or not, we're gonna have to come out of this
they
strong.
was still in that lean. They was
Man, they're lean. The liquid Cialis, just for you fellas to know, that is the most potent shit on the market. I'm just saying. Real talk, sidebar, inbox your boy. I got Cash App and all that now. I will get it to you as long as you get it to me. But yeah, it's just like we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what to steal. A lot of these organized hits that are happening, they're there to kind of cause the anarchy and keep the division between the people who should be unifying against the actual front. And I don't want us to get caught up in it. To be straight up with you, bro, fuck them looters. Don't think about them. Don't let them piss you off. Let them loot. It's not our shit. And if you're a business, you should have insurance.
That's what I say too.
Now, if you're a business, there's a black business that ain't got their shit together, this is a wrong time for that to happen too. And this is a good lesson for you to learn. This is America. We tear shit up. I don't care if the Bulls win a championship. We tear shit up. We don't need too much of a reason. So if you have insurance, you straight. I've also heard rumors that people are having people loot their businesses so they can claim this shit on their insurance because they ain't made no money in 3 months. That's what I'm saying. This is a bigger thing, man. This is bigger than Black Lives Matter. This is bigger than Antifa. I ain't landed on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me. Like, this is way bigger than it's more than meets the eye.
But see, you know what? for me, I get that because I'm a people person, and if this dog don't shut up, I'm not gonna be a dog.
I better be careful. You saw what they did to Vic. Vic got more time than them police officers.
I know, right? They'll give me
Better be careful. You better go
the
kiss
worst
that dog
dog.
right now. And just careful. You said, I'm gonna go in there and love on my dog. He don't shut up.
I'm gonna love him. I'm gonna love him, squeeze him.
I'm gonna love him. I'm gonna kiss him, and I'm gonna hug him, and I'm gonna squeeze him.
No, but look, no, but it's not that it's levels to these, bro. Because like I said, I'm getting calls because I'm with like these is my family members out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just I'm not just talking to just looters. I know they were out there. I didn't tell him when to call or call, don't be out there. I knew what they were doing. I told them be safe, be smart, and do it the right way. And you
Yeah.
know, make sure that y'all got a plan. And they did, and they were, and it's fine. And I understood that. But when they just then you got 12-year-olds randomly doing it at 11 in the morning because you know what I'm saying, the crackhead in there doing it because you know what I'm saying? It's like those are people who get
Man, look, some of these people are homeless that are looting, bro. Some of the black people they showing are homeless that are looting. Some of the
I
black
ain't
people that are
talking about the
looting
home,
are
I'm talking about
poor
the
as
white
hell.
kids.
I'm just saying, well, whatever crack is white and yellow sometimes if you're lucky. If you're real lucky, you get some of that yellow crack. But if you got that white crack, I don't know. I heard that from a crackhead. But what I'm saying is, it's a lot of these, especially in California, we have the largest homeless population in the country. And there's a lot of looting going on in California. Y'all
I
don't
bet.
think that's connected? Come on, man. The media is pushing agendas and working at the hand of people who are pushing agendas. So they're only spotlighting a piece of the story. That's what's going on. And that's what is turning us against the looters.
Mm-hmm.
Get your ass in the goddamn house before I beat your motherfucking ass.
And
Damn
that's
it.
what they said today and tomorrow.
That's African. That is an African American. That word you see is African American for get your ass in the goddamn house before I beat your motherfucking ass.
Hey, so our show was different. We actually had Godfrey on the phone.
I know, man. It was messed up. Sorry, y'all. We did have him on the phone earlier. We don't know what happened. I mean, it's a
I don't
lot
know
going
what
on. So,
happened. His signal kept going in and out. So I hope
but
that
shout out to Godfrey for tapping in on the show. He did tap in on the show, signed off on it. He was here earlier and we lost him, but it's a lot going on. So thank you for being on the show. Same thing to Ty, man. He was scheduled. Life gets in the way. Y'all know this is what's been happening for the last 3 months, man. You know, nothing runs smooth. Everything you plan seems to change. You know, and I thank everybody that tuned in, man, for real. I know it was a crazy time. I know it's going to be much different than the other shows we did. And I'm hoping next week we can have something much better to talk about than what's
well,
going
what
on.
we might do is this might just have been more of a pop-up thing, and we might do another show this week just because you know we need to bring the fun back and the funny back. And I'm gonna talk to Terry about that. Maybe y'all will agree that maybe we need to do another show with just a lot of loose, light, and roasting and fun things to just have fun about. Because we did plan on this one to be a little more serious, and then our artists were already engaged. The Godfrey was in New York is going
I
down.
mean, literally, New York just went into lockdown,
It's
and New
going
York is an
down.
hour ahead of us, and that means that three. So if we don't know what just happened in New York that made him have to leave his phone
Yeah,
or whatever happened.
yeah, yeah. Literally at the 30-minute mark, his phone went off. So I don't know if that's something that happened in New York or.
Could have
But
been a phone call. We don't know.
and then I was on the phone with Ty. He's probably still out there in the street now. When I leave, I'm gonna call him and see if he's okay. And
And we talked to Ty as well before the show. He was getting off work. So these are, but you know, again, we still continue with the show and we still want to spotlight Ty, Terry Young, my namesake, my brother, my NIG, the whole nine. You know what I mean? My protector, you know what I'm saying? No different than we all protected each other, you know,
exactly,
and a upstanding brother who's served on the police force in multiple cities and been hired by multiple police departments. Okay.
yeah.
So, you know, and then that's the type of man he is. You know what I mean? If it needs to be done, he's gonna be there. No different than he said it was an accident. He's gotta be there. That's his job,
Yeah.
you know.
You know, thank y'all again for coming out. I've been Two Face, Robert Kane, aka Bo, and that's my homeboy.
Sir Malcolm Aloysius. It's Terry Dorsey, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into the show. Thank y'all. Listen, be strong, be safe, be aware, be informed. Okay? Be strong, be safe, be aware, be informed. All right? We got to pay attention, y'all. There's too much going on. This unexplainable. There's too much blame being misplaced, and you gotta know that they playing us. They think of us as commodities. We're just like cows and pigs, and they'll throw humans in the mix.
Use your brain. Use your brain.
It's not them that's knocking us off.
It's us that's killing us.
Us that's killing.
It ain't them that's knocking us off. It's us that's knocking us off.
Us that's knocking us off.
Be smart. Like, that's what I was saying, y'all. Be smart. We love y'all. And you know you gotta get your motherfucking ass in the house before Lori beat your motherfucking ass.
Man, I'm so glad I live here right now, boy. Y'all, man, out of control.
Good night.
Good night.